Welcome back to the Daily Rundown with me, Fiona Fox, and thank you so much to Bob Young. He came in from the one-man show King Lear Alone. That's going to be on at Bandit, Mugger and Thief on Canal Street. You can get your tickets there on the Greater Manchester Fringe Festival website. I've been rejoined by David and Irina because they have something to say. It's that section of the show. This is where I let my guests basically just take over. They might have a news story that I've missed, or they might just want to, have a bit of a rant, which I'm kind of hoping is a rant. But Irina, you're smiling, so I feel like it's probably going to not be a rant. Yeah. But it is your first something to say, so that's exciting.
Yes.
It's your first time you've done this. So David's already very chivalrously offered to let you go first.
Ladies first, always.
Darling,
there you go. What's your something to say?
I've got to say, I'd like to say, tell the story. Yeah? Reflecting on the Brexit, a bit of homophobia and like basically racist incidents. I'd like to reflect on it, but in a nice way.
Okay.
So on 6th of July in Warrington, hosted by Mayor of Warrington, Mr. Rashid, there was a multi-international event. So lots of people were dancing and singing, and it was fantastic actually. We even took a picture with a Scottish band. Apparently none of them were Scottish, they were pipe band from Warrington, but the picture was very colorful. So I brought my hat, which basically, so what I've done with my friend, to start with basically, I support a Russian language school in Warrington called Solnышко, and a lot of Russian kids, and actually English people come in there to learn language as well. So we danced Kalinka, me and my friend, so I was wearing this, and I was thinking about coming in the whole costume, but that's a little bit
We would have loved that, wouldn't we?
Yeah, but so it's quite sort of,
Cool.
That's it.
That's beautiful, though. The detail. And is this something though that would where have you come by this? How have you come by this hat?
I bought this one in Moscow just because I am very cultural, and I'd like to follow traditions. Obviously, nobody wears walks around the city like this. But when they do national dancing or singing and at folk, that's the costume. So it's part of the costume.
And it's full dress and everything as well.
Yes, it's a full dress. So one day I will come like this.
Yeah, well, we'll have to have you in the next time. We will. But so this event sounds amazing, though. So this was basically a nice kind of friendly and sort of peaceful.
Absolutely. There were people of many nationalities there. So there was Irish dancing, and there was pipe band, obviously Irish. There was some belly dancing and spinning Kurdish, and everybody were so happy, and it was just everybody felt welcoming and comfortable and enjoying everybody. And I think what Mr. Rashid, the mayor,
we got some fabulous pictures.
Look how colorful it is.
That's gorgeous.
Yeah, and comments from friends, and I've put those pictures on Facebook and Twitter, and there was a lot of positive comments saying, we can live in friendship. And
well, it seems like this is exactly what we needed, because there was such a sort of there was quite a grim aftermath. There was quite kind of a depressed feeling, I think, around obviously on the back of the racist events that came on the back of Brexit as well, some of those ones. So it's actually really, really nice to have a story that we probably needed. Yeah. A nice reminder of what Europe is as well, would you think? A nice reminder of what Europe and what the UK is, that we are a country of many different nationalities and international.
Yeah, Pocahontas used to live here too.
Pocahontas.
Yeah, from
Pow
Wow and all that.
Yeah.
Lived in where? Manchester?
No, in England. So,
really?
Yeah, so how's that for you?
That's one of your top 5, I would say, trivia pieces, David. Pocahontas.
Might have useless information.
You'd be great in a pub quiz. I feel I'd like to have you.
I always screw up the science questions and things like that. But I think that my friend, he's my editor, in fact, at the JMA. He's been disturbed. He was a pro-Brexit like me, but he's been very disturbed by the number of incidents of racism, etc., that have occurred in the post-Brexit era. And yet I always defend people saying, well, the English on the whole are probably the most welcoming people in the whole of Europe. I'm not saying the Irish might be the same, or the Scots.
They have a name for it all right there, but I guess we're all very close.
Because I've had French friends that tell me it's not the most welcoming country, and places like Holland, etc. So I think that any sort of emotional carry away from this it will die down, because
It will.
It's still quite recent, I think, as well.
I mean, personally, I've never experienced anything. Because
well, this is my next question, yeah.
Yeah, that's it. People around me very friendly. They're very, like, interested in my background and my culture. And I always try to promote the good things and, bring people together. Because lots of it is international country.
Very much
lots of much, especially when basically, EU was open and a lot of people came here for work, migrants and immigrants. So yeah,
and the thing is, they're here now, and people have raised their families here now, and that type of thing. How did you feel? Did you feel a little bit? Did these kind of attacks and stuff, and the horrible just social media messages and that, did it make you feel a little bit unwelcome?
I wouldn't say unwelcome. Yeah, I felt a bit shaky. Sort of, you can't escape it. It's in the media. Yeah, you social, basically, social stuff. You can read and see what other people saying. Personally, it never touched me, but I know people and I've heard from people I know, so it's real. Yeah, they've been approached and were basically racist attack. I wouldn't say, but there were comments, not nice comments, but. When it started happening and when it was basically, it was clear that it's, quite racist, I had English people emailing and calling me and apologizing for the country, and I said it was so sweet. So I wouldn't say it's going to last, it will die down. Yeah. And we just need to learn from this.
And the sad thing is, obviously, it's people who have just kind of jumped on the bandwagon, and they're not representing even the people who voted for Brexit anyway. So
what those people don't understand, like me personally, I've got small business. If I go home, 5 people will lose jobs, which are English, and a lot of local small companies will lose my business.
Right.
So ideally, altogether, it will be a loss for everybody. And how many people like this, here?
Well, it's lovely to...
And generally, we don't come here for benefits. We come here for work, and we bring our culture, we share it. And
you come here for the weather.
I
think that's one thing I think that nobody.
The first thing I ask somebody, where are you from? Oh, how long have you been here? Oh, you came for the weather.
Yeah.
And they say, yeah.
Yeah, it's just the one thing I think that we're not going to, it's not going to be a draw, I think, to people.
Beautiful weather today.
To be fair, it is gorgeous today. Thank you so much, Irina. That was lovely. That was gorgeous. I love your outfit. Mr. David Semple, you've always got something to say.
Well, it's just, we've been to Brexit and all of that, and we have to look to the future. So, Theresa May had her coronation last week. And, I need to read something off my phone. Theresa May had her coronation last week, and she appointed a new cabinet. And she got rid of some people we didn't want in the cabinet. And she made some appointments, one of which I predicted on BBC an hour before it happened, David Davis. And to cheer us up after Brexit, we have a new Foreign Secretary, Boris Johnson.
Mr. Bojo.
Who has written a poem, which I will censor a bit, about Erdogan, the would-be dictator of Turkey. Apparently in Germany, somebody criticized Erdogan and they tried to get the German government to help them clamp down on these critics. And so the Spectator did a contest of the best limerick about our dear friend Mr. Erdogan, and the winner, Douglas Murray chose, was Boris. There once was a young fellow from Ankara who was a terrific, I can't say it but rhymes with Ankara, till he sowed his wild oats with the help of a goat, but he didn't even stop to thank her. So that's Boris Johnson's opinion of Mr. Erdogan. And indeed, he can't, of course, he's not going to apologize for that. He also referred to our friend, dear Hillary Clinton, as like something like a deranged mental health nurse, like the one off of Cuckoo's Nest. And that's what journalists do. You have to have a sense of humor, and people don't hold these things against people.
Well, unless maybe they go then for a job as Foreign Secretary, though, David.
Well,
down the line.
The thing about that job of Foreign Secretary is it's up to the Prime Minister, and she's appointed Boris, and I think he will be an excellent ambassador for the country. Indeed, I don't think he's going to change his haircut too much. He might get a suit that actually fits. But I think he's already popular and well known across, he's been on American television. You know, when Cameron went on American television, he couldn't even answer questions about the Magna Carta, but Boris passed that test. And I think he'll do a very good job for us, and I think he'll give us a positive image. I do think Boris has his, if you read his book, The Churchill Factor, he has an amazing understanding of world affairs and historical people and that. And I don't think he's got delusions of grandeur about himself. I know Churchill was a journalist, Boris is a journalist and all of this. But in a way, when he was asked to be Foreign Secretary, it was like that time Stanley Baldwin appointed Churchill Chancellor of the Exchequer. And he said he'd just been in the Liberal Party for 20 years. And suddenly he was back in the, oh, you're Chancellor. And a lot of people didn't think Boris would get into the government or would be in the way, and I think this is keeps the party together, because I think Boris helped make the peace during the election.
Do you think? Well, it's interesting.
I've heard some rumors.
It's like you both come out with nice positive stories there. We appreciate that. It's something to say. I think with Boris, he has his knockers, so we're gonna have to wait and see how that plays out. I think, aren't we? Before we can have it.
But I also like some of the other people, apart from Hammond. Apart from the other people she has on her team.
Well, don't worry, they're all going to be featuring on all our future Daily Rundown shows, I'm sure, David. Thanks so much for that, guys. There's something to say. We're going to go into our last break of the evening now. When I come back, we're going to go through the and finalies. Don't miss those. See you soon.